Hello everybody and happy Monday. Today is Monday, July 3rd. Today's show is going to be pre-recorded so that I can enjoy the holidays with my family and you can enjoy the holidays with your family, and so that you can pause and back up and whatever you need to do to follow along with today's project, which is a special surprise. Yeah. If you don't like special surprises and you really want to see it, remember that since today is pre-recorded, you can always just fast forward to the end if you want to see what we're doing. What else was I going to tell you? Okay. My name is Amy Pagan. This is Amy Pagan Art. And as always, this class meets every Monday at noon for the past two and a half years, almost 3 years. Yeah, I think it'll be 3 years in March. This class is always free. You do not have to buy any specific supplies. You can use watercolors, which is what I almost always use. You can use colored pencils. You can use crayons. You can use markers. You can use acrylics. You just use whatever you have in your house, so that you start off your week with a little bit of art, because that's the whole point, is just to relax and have fun and have a little beauty to start off our week. The rules of this class are as follows. Be kind and compassionate with yourself and with others. So by that I mean, we are not painting the Sistine Chapel, as I say every week. We're just going to do a little art project and have fun, and that's the whole point. So please don't be critical of yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. This is just a nice little relaxing break. You're going to learn a technique or two, and we're just going to have a good time. Your jokes are always welcome. We love on-theme corny jokes. Please feel free to share them in the comments section. And also, please, when you're done with your work today, take a picture and share it in the comments, or you can DM it to me. I would love to see what you're doing and who you're creating with, if you're with your family or friends, or just if you're out there taking your lunch break and you're meeting up with your friends here online, which is all of us. This is a really nice community, and we care about each other. So let's do some art. If you can agree to be kind and compassionate to yourself and to be kind to others, please give me a heart or a thumbs up, and we'll get started. Okay, and per usual, yes, my fingernails are themed for today's project. Okay, so what you're gonna want first is a pencil. I almost always just use a number 2 pencil, and I do not know where all of my fabulous pencils that say fabulous things are. So I will need to go find some more this week. This week I'm just using a Dixon number 2 soft pencil, but let's pretend it says something fabulous, like be kind to yourself. Okay. I know, those of you who are old school with me know exactly what I'm talking about. It only occurred to me recently that I had stopped using those. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw 3 lines. We're gonna find the center of our paper, and then we're gonna draw 3 lines, okay? So my paper is the specially made watercolor bookmarks today, which means that they are 4x6, and that way you can use them as a postcard. You can also just do that with regular watercolor paper. You can also just do it with regular heavy paper if you want. Just use whatever paper you guys have. I will be happy that you're creating. So you should be happy that you're creating either way. All right, so I'm gonna find the center of my paper. It's probably right about here. I'm gonna come down maybe like 1 knuckles worth, okay? And I'm just gonna make a little dot so I know that's my center. If you are new to this class, I always make my pencil lines darker than you should make yours, and I do that so that you guys can see on the other side of the internet. Okay, I'm just gonna do 3 lines. 1 line's gonna point this way, 1 line's gonna point that way, and 1 line's gonna go straight up. So let's do one going straight up. If you need to use a straight edge, do it. There is no shame in that. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. I'm just gonna cross this little intersection. Oh, excellent question. How long are these lines? They are, let's see, where's my finger? Top of my finger, here's 1 knuckle, here's 2 knuckle, and a half. So 2.5 knuckles. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. 3. Okay, now you're gonna notice that if I was to draw a circle, like a curvy line, they would fit, because this one down here in the middle is gonna look the longest, and then these are gonna look like they start a little bit higher up. And that's what happens when you take things that are, let's see if I have some things that are the same size. No, of course I don't. For an example, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. So that's the jive we're going for. If these were all the same size, it would be like this. That's it. See how these look like they're a little bit higher up? This is the lowest point in our art. Okay. All right, next thing. We are going to make the slightest hot dog. Ready? So that's just turning this into a little bit of a corn dog. So I just put an oval almost to the center point here, but I probably left like a fingernail's worth. Okay, so the bed of this fingernail. And then same thing here. I'm gonna start a little bit higher up. Little hot dog shape. And same thing over here, little hot dog shape, just a little bit. Not a big puffy hot dog. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some lines coming out. So I'm gonna do 1 little line coming out this way. It is 1 knuckle. So I'm starting, here is the top of my little line here. I'm leaving a little bit of a space, and I'm doing like 1 knuckle. I'm going to do 4 points coming out. Same thing up here. 1, 2. It's okay if they're crossing. 3, 4, 1. They are going to cross. 3, 4. That is all the lines you need. And I know it looks a mess right now, and you're thinking, Amy, what in the world are we doing? Trust me, friends. Or just skip to the end. It's okay too. It's okay to not trust me if that makes you feel better. Okay, so per usual, I do not take sponsorships, that you all know that any product I recommend is just a product I recommend, okay? This is by Prima Marketing. It is the Classics Artist Palette, watercolor palette. You can get it online for like $25. They have them at all the craft supply stores too. This is an excellent investment. From my perspective, it cost me about $25. It's lasted me years and years. I use it every week to teach. Okay. Other things. I have Princeton, size 6, round. This is nothing new. Y'all are used to this one, synthetic fibers. And today we will have a little bunny rabbit chopstick holder who's gonna hold my brushes. All right, I am gonna grab my water. I'll set it right there so you guys can see. And I'm gonna swish, 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 swish. And I'm gonna drag it on the side, and that way we do not have big old drippies on our paint. You'll notice that I just swished. I did not leave my paintbrush sticking up out of the water, because then you smush this lovely fine point. You don't want to do that. If you have done that, what do you do to fix it, you guys? You guys know this. You just use your fingers. Pull it to a nice little point gently. All right, I'm grabbing some brown. I know you think it's a hot dog, but it's not. And I'm just gonna trace this little line here. Oop, my paintbrush is not quite wet enough, so I'm gonna get it wet again. I'm gonna get a little more brown, and I'm gonna go bloop all the way up to the top. I'm just following these lines. I'm using a very gentle hand so that I get the thinnest line possible with this size 6. Okay. And now I'm gonna take a little more brown and I'm gonna make dots. The hot dog, you're just gonna fill it with dots. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. We're doing a little unintentional pointillism. And we're just gonna fill that guy up. Just fill, fill, fill. Do, 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 do. Little tiny hot dogs. Okay, so we've got it mostly filled. And remember, yours is going to look even more glorious than this because you're not gonna have really dark pencil lines, are you? No, that was just me. Okay, any guesses yet? That's okay, you don't have it. All right, and now, to keep in our color theme, we're gonna get some red. Also, when we finish this painting, I'm gonna do it in metallics for you guys so you can see that. All right, I'm just gonna do a little red line coming out in the center, tracing those red lines. And then I'm gonna do, so I did 4 little red lines, right? Coming out of my, not a corn dog. And then I'm gonna do dotted lines in between. Just little dotted lines, dot, dot, dot. And then I'm gonna make a little X. It's not touching that line, it's just kind of near it. Hello. And if I want, I can do more dots. I'll do more dots coming out from in between. Boop, boop, boop. It's very important that you make the boop, boop, boop noise as you do your dots. Okay. Rinse, rinse, rinse. If any of you were ever wondering what my wrist looks like, that was the answer. No one has wondered what my wrist looks like. All right, I'm gonna grab a little blue. And I'm gonna do a straight line and a straight line and some dots. Dot, 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 little dotted lines coming out. Do you know what it is yet? And a little X, and a little X, and a little X, and a little X, and a little X. All right, over here. If you guessed sparklers, you are correct. Okay, so since it's the 4th of July, and sparklers are a thing that we like to hand to kids all the time, I want to give you some safety reminders, okay, about sparklers. So line, 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 dot, dot, dot. Sparklers are so much fun and they are so pretty, but they are still fire, okay? So I want you guys to be super careful. Don't get them near anybody's hair. Don't get them near anybody's clothing. If you have a lit sparkler, remember to take it where you're not gonna accidentally sparkle someone. And yeah, just be careful and never, never, never poke anybody with a sparkler. My husband's little brother did that when they were little, and now my husband has a gigantic scar on his leg from it. Okay, so now if you want to do extra dots, do extra dots, and these are our beautiful little sparklers. And now you can see why I said I would do this with metallics. I'm just putting little dots in, and the dots are following those lines. If you want to kind of pull this guy together, let's do a little bow. Okay, so to do a ribbon on this guy, I'm going to come right to that center point, right, where all the sparklers are joined. And I'm going to do the outline of a raindrop coming out. That's one side of the bow. Outline of a raindrop coming out right there in the center. And then I'm going to do a little line that just goes flow, 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 little curvy line. And there's the ends of my ribbon. This is a great opportunity to do the splatters that we love to do. I'm not going to do it on this one in particular, but just so you know, you could. You can also just add extra little dots. I think this would be a perfect decoration to put on an invitation, maybe to a 4th of July party, or, you know, exactly what we have created, which is a little postcard. To say, hey, it's summer, it's the 4th of July, and I'm thinking about you, which I think would be lovely. I'd also love to hear, y'all know that I'm in the United States, but not all of my listeners are in the United States. Not all of you fellow artists who create with me are in the United States. So what holidays do y'all use sparklers for, or is that a thing? Do y'all use it? I'm sure you do, but I'd love to learn more about what y'all do outside of the US. And for those of you inside of the US, happy 4th of July. Okay, remember, we're gonna do this again here just a second with the metallic, so don't go anywhere. Remember to sign your name when you're done. Ta-da, I did mine. This is absolutely your artwork. You do whatever you want to with it. It's yours, yours, yours. All I did was kind of walk you through it. Okay. It has been a while since we have done metallics. Let me just scooch this little guy over here. So let me remind you of some of the stuff you could use if you wanted to. I am pretty dedicated to my art philosophy. So this is an art philosophy metallic accents set of watercolor. And look, it has all these beautiful colors. Now the best thing that you can do to make your metallics really show up is black paper. This is a package. This is the first time I'm going to use it, so we'll all see how it works. And it is by Soho Urban Artist, and it is called a black brick, and it's just black watercolor paper. In the past, when I have done black watercolor, I have used Stonehenge paper. So this will be a little test run that y'all are doing with me. Oh, you know who would be even better to use today as my little paintbrush holder is my little astronaut. Look at that, because he's red, white, and blue too. Okay, you can hang out right there, little Mr. Astronaut. Okay, so with this one, I'm not going to do any pencil lines, just because I already know like what I'm doing. But if you want to do pencil lines, do them. Okay, here is my brush. I'm going to rinse, rinse, rinse. And this time for my, let's try this guy. For my little sticks, I'm going to try this, and it should be like a silver. So I'm getting it nice and wet. And let's do those little sticks and see how it goes. One line. Ooh, I do like that. And there's another line. So I did my big X. And here's my one that comes right up the middle. And then I'm just going to do my little dots. And that's the part that's sort of like, I don't know what you would call it on a sparkler. If it was a match, you would call it like the head of the match. So we'll just call it the head of the sparkler. Dots, dots, dots. All right, let's see how it works, my friends. All right, I've got a metallic red here. Let's try it out. I'm gonna have to get it nice and wet. The metallics do, for reasons I don't know, take a little more water to get activated, but it's worth it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little line coming out, and a line, and a line, and a line. Isn't that fun? They glow. Okay, I'm gonna do my dotted lines in the middle. Let's do that again on this side. So line coming out, line, 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 and then dotted lines. And you know what? I didn't measure these for you guys before, like how far the dotted lines come out. I think I do like about a knuckle's worth, okay? And then I'm gonna do a little X, and an X, and an X, and an X. Just at the ends. And that little X just kind of makes it look like the little starbursts that come off of your sparklers. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab, this is the blue. Let's get that guy. And obviously I didn't show y'all, I think I did it pretty quickly, but I am rinsing my brush in between these. And that's very important, always rinse your brush. All right, blue straight up the middle and coming out this way and coming out that way. Blue, blue, blue. And then we'll do a little X and a little X and a little X and dot, dot, dot. And dot, 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 dot. And then we're just gonna do little extras, right? Boop, 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 boop. Little X's coming out everywhere. Some of my favorite and most memorable, kind of beautiful childhood memories are sparklers on the beach on the 4th of July, on a little island off the coast of Florida. It was my dad's bachelor pad that he had before he ever got married, and he kept it so that we could use it as a vacation house. So funny to me that my dad was probably a really cool guy. Now he's just my dad. Here's something interesting about my dad that not a lot of people know. I didn't even know this. One of my, I called him my uncle, but he was actually like one of my dad's cousins. My dad was a pilot, and he started out as a pilot in the Air Force, and he's very old. First of all, my dad he was much older when he had me as well, but here, let's put this ribbon on. Ready? Remember, we do that raindrop shape and the raindrop shape, and then we do the curly ribbon. Yeah, at dinner one night, my uncle just mentioned that when my dad was an Air Force pilot, the military recruited him to come and train for one of the first manned NASA missions. So my dad trained for the Gemini mission, which was the capsule that they sent just the 2 guys up into space. My dad did not do the mission, but he was one of the, I think he was like in a class of 100 guys that were trained for it. Which I always thought was really interesting. And I was like, Dad, how come you never told me that? And he was like, oh, it's not a very big deal. I thought it was kind of a big deal. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna sign my name here. All right, my name is Amy Pagan. This has been Amy Pagan Art. I am wishing all of you a very, very happy Monday, a wonderful week. Have a great holiday weekend. If you're celebrating, please remember to stay safe. And yeah, thanks for joining me, y'all. Take care, and I'll see you right back here next Monday at noon, and we'll create something beautiful, and we'll have a little talk, and we'll have a great time. Please do send me your work. Remember to like and share this post. Take a picture of what you've done and share it with me. Let me know if there's any requests you have for upcoming classes. But most of all, just remember to be kind to yourself. You guys have a great week. Bye.